Okie doke, this is a 207 demonstration. We did this in class today, October 12th, and I'm going to try to put it up on YouTube in a step-by-step. There's also a class recording that's available, but hopefully this will be a little more straightforward. I don't know. I don't know how easy it'll probably not too easy, but that's what we're going for. Okay, now, this is our look. This pertains to your project, okay? And this is just a demonstration about the skills, okay? Your project is not designing this poster, but you're going to replicate this just to learn some skills in Pixlr, okay? So this is the look. Now, what about this look here? Well, we've got a negative space. We've got an area that's negative space, and that's a focal point, and in that negative space is a word. These are your formal specifications. These are your specs for your poster. Down at the bottom there's a quote. Okay, and what is this about? It's about this pandemic situation that we found ourselves in. And it's a poster hypothetically designed to be hung in a transit kiosk, waiting for a train, waiting for a bus, okay, someplace where people are looking, waiting and looking. Okay? Vertical format, full color. Now what are we doing here? We're combining typography with an image, with hand drawing. The star was hand drawn. Those three things. Okay? All right. Now, let me get rid of that. And again, you're replicating that for this assignment, which is due on Wednesday night. And in your folder, I've put this, Getty Images. And this is what you're going to start with. So you right-click it, or just click that little spot, hit download. Okay, now it's in downloads, and I'm going to get rid of that. Now, in Pixlr, if you're just opening Pixlr for the first time, make sure that you choose the advanced option. So there's Pixlr for beginners and Pixlr advanced. So go for the advanced option. Then, I'm going to start from scratch here. Say open image, and then go to where you've put your image. So mine is on the desktop, it's right here. So open, and there we have it. Okay? Now, my notes, these are my notes from class. And I'm going to go, be going by these notes, and I'll also email them to you. Or actually, I already have emailed them to you. Okay, so step number one, you're thinking of ideas, right? You've got your own project that you need to do, your own poster. You've got that in the back of your head. You have to do some research and look around. Your research specifications are as follows. You have to put 8 images of something that pertains to this project in your research folder. You can look for graphic design posters. You can look for images of people. You can, whatever you want to do. Look around and look for stuff. And I gave you on the project specs right here, project overview, there's a link there for 5 or 6 or 7 places to start looking around, graphic design places, and just publications and things with cool things to look at. Okay, now I started at Pixabay, which is a stock photography site, and that's where I got this, because I already had my idea that I wanted to do a night sky. Okay, so, and you also, when you have your ideas like percolating along, you need to do thumbnail sketches, and we've already talked about that. Make sure they're what I'm looking for. Okay, I'm not going to get into all that right now. Okay, we've already covered that, and it's also up on Canvas in case you're wondering. And in case you're still wondering, send me an email. Okay, all right. Now number 3. Okay, so I've found this guy. This is where we are. Whatever you're going to work with, save it. For our 2.4 Pixlr class assignment, which is what I'm talking about, then you open the photo in your folder on OneDrive. This is what I'm saying. Open this sky photo, which is in your folder on OneDrive. Okay? Now, if you've gotten that far, then this is what you're looking at. Okay, so we've done these first 3 steps. 4 steps. Open in Pixlr. Advanced. Okay, now here we are, step number 5. The one we're using right here is horizontal, but we need a vertical image because the vertical is the specification of the poster. So we need to make it vertical. So we're going to double this height, right? It's horizontal, we're going to make it vertical. And we're going to double the height in canvas size. This is how we do it. You go to image. Well, first you have to know what the height is to double it. Here's the size. The width, 509 pixels. The height, 339. So we're going to double that height. We go to image, canvas size. Click down here. Okay? Don't leave it here. Click down here. That means you're going to add pixel space up here. And then for the height, we're going to double it, so that'll make it 680. And hit apply. Okay, so this checkerboard look is the look in Photoshop and a lot of image editing software of, this is the look of like nothing. Nothing is here. That's what this shorthand for like nothing is here. It's like clear. If it was clear, it would be white, and then white would be pixels, and that's just confusing. So this is just, you know, what I'm saying. This is what people in image editing know of as there's nothing here. Nothing going on. Okay, except for the space. Now I'm going to take the lock off of the background. I right-click that. And I'm going to hit unlock. Okay, if you're a locked background, then you're not going to get too far, or any of your layers that you're working on. So see layers. Let's take a second to look around here. Here's your layers. Here's your history. I'm going to get rid of that because we'll have a lot of layers. Options up here. Tools. Here. Okay, feedback. Nah. Alrighty. Now, a couple ways. What's next here? A couple things we're going to do. The one we're using is horizontal. We need to make it vertical. We double the size. We're going to stretch this image up and also copy and paste. Okay, stretching the image. Now, to stretch the image, you need to grab the image, and you would grab it in this tool here called the Marquee tool. We're going to click on that, and then go like that. Drag a marquee. Make sure your layers are selected. Edit, free transform. Okay, then grab this thing, stretch it up. In fact, I'm going to move it up and also stretch it down. Okay, when I apply it, yes. Okay, don't stretch it out of, especially if you're using people, don't stretch them beyond any kind of proportional advantage. Don't make them so too weird looking, out of proportion. Okay, then I'm going to select some of this sky and then just copy and repeat it. Okay, so in the Marquee tool again. However, I want like a soft selection, not a hard edge one, so I'm going to put a feather on here. Put a number on here, like, I don't know, 14 or so. Okay, now, just a little, like a swash here, I'm going to select. And then get in the Move tool, and then I'm going to go Copy, which is Command C, like cat, and then Command V, like Victor, is Paste. So, I got that. I'm just going to add to the sky. There's kind of there's an edge there, but we'll see what we can do about that later. Okay, so Command V again. I'm going to bang it up here. Gang them up, I guess. Okay. All right. Now, a couple things. I'm going to combine. See, every time I copied and pasted, it made a new layer. And each of these layers, here, I'll show you. This is the visibility. I'm going to deselect that. See, each of these layers are these little slices. The feathering wasn't very much. I could have made that a bigger number. Okay. Now I'm going to combine all of this so that it's one layer. Under layer and merge visible. Okay, now it's back to one layer, locked again. So I'm going to right click that and unlock it. Okay, now this, I'm not loving the proportion here. I'm going to go like this and make it skinnier. Because it's like a long skinny poster. This is a little too wide. So I made a marquee and then go image, crop. Okay, that's a little better. Now we're going into this tool, the dodge and burn tool. Now, if you click on that and say, don't see any action, again, your layer needs to be selected. I don't know why I have to keep selecting it, but okay. So then once I selected it, all these options for dodge and burn tool came up. So here's the brush. Click on that. Click on that. This is the size of it. So, about like that. Soft would be nice. I don't want any steps. Okay. And for the midtones, so it's going to darken up the midtones. Oh, that's weird looking. Maybe I should use the shadows. Wow, that is wild. Looks different than it did before. I must have done something weird. Lighten. Oh, I'll put it on darken. I think that's good. Okay. Well, I think the brush is too big, actually. Okay. So just messing around with this a little bit just to soften up. Wow, that is weird looking. Hold on a minute. That's a little better. Wow. Anyway, the idea here. The idea being, wow. Just a sec. I like how dark it is, but it's really dark. One more time. I don't know. Okay, messing around with this, as you can see. Just trying to obscure these, these white or these straight lines here. Okay, looks very dark, right? Dark midnight sky. And I'll try with a highlight while I'm at it. Okay. Now what? Now we've got a sky. Okay, we're in the marquee tool. Layers are important to keep an eye on. The layer must be selected to be able to work on it. Oh, this is when we were stretching it. Edit, free transform. Don't stretch it beyond feasible proportions. Click off of it to apply. So for example, say you've selected something and this is a selection tool. If you see this look, it means it's still selected. And if you're trying to move on and it still looks like that, you have to click off of it, which means, put your cursor not on it, but off of it, and then click, and that'll deselect it. Okay, sometimes it's just, these simple things can hang you up, and they're really frustrating. Okay. Click off to apply. Now we're going to select some sky, but not with a hard edge. Okay, this is everything that we've done. Marquee tool with a feather. Merge visible. I only have one layer. Before I did two. Burn and dodge tool. This is where we were. Okay. Fix the proportion. Could have done that before. Could have done it to begin with, for sure. Okay, now we're going to add type, a frame, and a freehand drawing of a shooting star. Remember your underlying objective. Okay, please don't submit thumbnails that have no correlation to what this project is. Okay, don't say, oh, I thought I could do anything I want. Don't do that. Okay, because you can't. There are project parameters here, and make sure you understand what they are. Okay, now. Okay, so again, the shooting star, nice visual metaphor for, for what? Moving on, for the cosmos, for being strong, whatever, something that's inspiring to see. Always a shooting star. Okay, now what am I going to do here? Let me look here again. Okay, frame, freehand shooting star. We'll do that and then we'll add the type last. Okay, this is your color. This is where you mess around with color with this thing. This is the foreground, this is the background. You can switch them using this arrow. Okay. I am going to choose orange because it's the opposite of blue and I like that. Well, that's kind of something like that. Okay? If you have a color that you like working with, take note of what it is. This is 221 for red, 99 for green, and 138 for blue. Looks like kind of pink, doesn't it? I'd rather have it be a little more orange. Okay. Alright, see there it goes into the foreground color. Now, let's add a layer. So you can do that up here, layer, new layer. Pops right in there. Huh. Sorry, I thought, I'm going to get rid of one. Before it would ask me what kind of layer I wanted, but I didn't see that this time. Okay, just a plain old layer. Okay, be on that layer. The object here is to not mess around with your image in the background. So in fact, let's put a lock on that. Lock it up. Work on this layer. Get in the marquee tool. I'm going to select a spot and I'm going to get in the paint bucket tool. See, it says fill. Fill whole areas with single color. Okay, good. Whoops, still has that feather on it, which I don't want. Okay, one more time. Alrighty, like this, and then the paint bucket tool, and then like that. Okay, so this is just adding, some decorative elements. Oh, see, I was trying to make another one, but it wouldn't do it. To click off of the thing, get off. Oh, you have to be in the marquee tool, and then click off of it. Try it again. Okay. There. Marquee tool, click off. Now see there's a little blue line down there? I'm not loving that. This is also a selection tool. So you can grab that. It's called the magic wand. It'll just select a bunch of pixels. See? Now I'm going to get in the move tool, this tool, and then just use the keyboard to nudge it down. Okay, that's just a little selection sort of thing. I grabbed it, I got in the move tool, and then I used the keyboard arrows, the down arrow, just to nudge it down. Okay, I'm going to put the star on this layer also. Just a little hand-done artwork is on this layer. Now, this really is why I wanted to do this YouTube to begin with, because this is toward the end of class, and it's kind of tricky here. This tricky point. So this is the lasso tool, getting the lasso tool, getting this polygon lasso tool because a star is like straight edged, right? Well, that star, this star is for sure. All right, I'm going to fill it with white, so I'll flip these colors so white is the foreground. And then that star, again, what are we looking for? Where is that thing? Wow, the one that I showed you to begin with. Oh, I lost it. All right. Okay, we're in the polygon tool. Here's the scoop for this tool. You click your mouse, right? And then you move it. Don't drag or don't hold the mouse down and move it. Just click, move the mouse, and then click again. Okay, see now I have one line. Move it this way. Don't hold the mouse down, just move it. Click it, and then move it again. Click. So you're establishing these points and lines, these like vector points. So I'm moving the mouse and clicking it, and moving it, and clicking, moving it, and clicking it. And then here's this part that's tricky. You have to make sure you end up where you started, just like that. I'm going to click off of it and show you what happens if that doesn't work that way. Okay, say you're making a star, and you think you're going, to where it is, but hold on. All right, say you overshoot it, and then you're like, okay, where do I? It's just like it'll keep going forever unless you end up where you started. Okay, make sure you end up where you started. Okay, just take a minute to admire this cool shape. Whoops, oh, there's a good example. Don't get off. Oh my Lord. I'm just trying to shut this ad down. Okay, one more time. I'm going to make the star that I want. Going to have a word in it, so it has to be fairly large. Really large. It's kind of too big, really. All right, paint bucket tool. Fill it with white. Okay. Now, sheesh. I don't know what I did. Well, I stopped concentrating for a second, and that is weird. Okay. I went Command Z a bunch of times just to go back. Okay, Command Z is undo. There's a good number of undos. All right, let me try that again. I don't know how that happened, but okay. One more time. See, on YouTube, you never know what's going to happen. All right, I'm on this layer, right? Okay. Paint bucket, fill it, deselect. Okay. I'm going to put one more layer in here. You can move your layers around, right? I want to put something underneath this star, but on top of the background. So, and again, just to show you, with this magic wand tool, I'm going to select the star, copy it, Command C, go to this layer, paste it, and then I want it to be a different color. I'm going to make it really dark blue. I don't know if that's the color I want, but I'm just going to go with it here. Okay, and then put it, whoop. I forgot when it copied and pasted and made its own layer. All right, hold on. Get rid of this layer. And bring that down. Oh, my soul. Give me a hard time here. Lock this thing up. Grab that. And move it. Okay, so it's sort of like I was just trying to move the star underneath the other star. I don't know. You know, I locked the layer up. You have to you have to say who's the boss here, the software or you, or who's the boss. Okay, now so I slammed a lock on it. Now the next thing is, I think on this layer we're going to put the comet tail, and that'll be with this brush tool. We do need white for that for sure. Okay, here's the brush tool. Now in my notes, I had a number for the brush parameters. Let's review this here. Flatten image, add another layer. Lasso tool with the polygon lasso tool, create the star shape. Use the paint bucket to fill it up. Use the marquee tool to deselect it. Alert, this is what I was trying to say, make sure that you go back to the beginning of your shape to click on your starting point to finish creating the shape, or it'll be tough to get out of that tool. Keep an eye on the locks and the layers. You know, they can work for you or work against you. Okay, here's the brush. Look, we're almost at the end. Okay, 100 for the brush, and then 41980. Okay, I'll show you what that means. Okay, here's the brush. If you click up here, you get all these brush options. And then I'm going to scroll down, and I want this brush. And then 48. And then 98 for the softness, very soft. And then 0 for the steps. Okay, we'll click over here. Alright, it's white. Don't have that hard tip on. The opacity, we want to knock that back too. Alright, and then we'll see how that goes. Get that add off. Alright, so once you have all those parameters set, you can, you know, put a swash on there. Comet tail. Whoop. I don't like any of those. One more time. Alright. Now, I don't like that one either. Seriously. Hang on. Bear with me. Oh, I give up. Okay. Now, let's put some type on this thing. Type tool. Alright, that's, you know, we'll keep our layers the way they are. I'm going to lock this one up too, just for good measure. Okay, type tool. Okay, once you start trying to use it, it says you want a text layer, you say yes. Oh, look at that, huge, freaking huge. Okay, and let's make it a color. Well, here's the color for the text. Okay. If you want to use the same colors up here, there you go. I'll let you do that. Okay. All right. And my word was, I'm going to make it all caps. It's kind of a thin typeface, kind of skinny. I'll choose that one instead. Okay, get the move tool to move stuff around. Strong, right? And then down at the bottom, another type layer. This is where you put your nice quote. Nice Bob Marley quote. About being strong. Okay? Done? Done and done. Except that comet tail's horrible. Okay. Now, if you have any problems, issues, you're stuck, we're going to have class on Wednesday also. Well, I'll be there. Synchronously. And you can ask questions then, or email me, or come to my office hours. All those things. Okay?